Hang on, let me restart that before you do anything. Okay, you can start live sharing it now, Joan.
What's beeping downstairs? Beeping. Something's beeping downstairs.
Don't have a clue.
No.
Maybe the radio.
Are you gonna go back into the room?
Yes, I. Slips. No.
No, see if it-
Actually,
Oh.
No. Thank you, everyone who's just joining us. We're going to be getting started here in just about 2 minutes. This is the Seven Seas Cruising Association's webinar, Hampton, Virginia, a choice destination for cruisers. We're just letting people into the room now, those folks who pre-registered. And I see we have a lot of people joining us from YouTube Live, where the webinar is streaming. So welcome to everyone. Whether you're here in the webinar with us or watching over YouTube, we're thrilled to have you. And we're going to give this about another minute while people join, and then I'll do a quick introduction and let you know who all of our panelists are today from Hampton, Virginia. And they're going to share information about all the great things there are to do and see and resources for cruisers in that area. So we're really excited about the webinar today. We'll be starting in just a few seconds. So hang in there. And I see we still have a few people joining. And all right, it is just turning 6 o'clock. I want to welcome everybody here to this webinar, which is the Seven Seas Cruising Association webinar on Hampton, Virginia, which is a choice destination for cruisers. First, just a little bit about SSCA. My name is Cecilia Dahl. I'm a volunteer with SSCA. With me today, we have Joan Conover, who's also going to be one of the panelists. She is on the board of directors for SSCA, and we're thrilled to be working with Downtown Hampton to bring you this webinar today. Seven Seas Cruising Association is the oldest and largest worldwide organization supporting the liveaboard cruising lifestyle. We're a nonprofit organization founded in 1952 by 6 liveaboard couples in California, and we now have members all over the world. Today, SSCA remains true to the traditions of its original members, sharing cruising information, fostering camaraderie, and leaving a clean wake. Let me see if I can change my, oh, I can't. I can just leave this open here for you as I got kicked out of my slide share. So today, we are thrilled to be joined by our sponsors, Downtown Hampton, who have pulled together a premier group of panelists to share with you the things there are to do in Hampton for cruisers. So whether you're currently heading north up the US East Coast and you're rounding Cape Hatteras, ducking into the Chesapeake and need a place to stay, explore, and rest for a few days, whether you're coming up the ICW or if you're southbound and you've just done that long stretch down the New Jersey coast, Delaware, Maryland, and you're there and you need a place to stay, or just meandering the Chesapeake, Hampton is a wonderful stop. There is all kinds of things to see and do there, and they love cruisers. So today we're going to start with Mary Fougere with the Hampton Convention and Visitors Bureau. She's going to tell you about all of the activities and fun things to do in Hampton. Joan Conover and Danny Fitzgerald are going to give you an overview. Danny is the Dockmaster from Downtown Hampton. They're going to give you an overview about all the things you can do at the docks there and getting into Hampton with your boat. We've got Max Player from the Hampton Yacht Club. They've got exciting things to do and news for cruisers, accommodations, and all kinds of things. Charlene Clark, this is a good one. You're going to want to hang on for this. She does canvas in Hampton. She's going to talk a little bit about caring for your canvas, but also how you can do repair and what services she offers in Hampton. Everyone always needs canvas repair, so she's going to be great. And this last one as well, I really love Claire and Linda from Shored Up, because when you get to Hampton, you are going to want to experience and do and taste all that is around you. So it is really my pleasure to turn this webinar over to Mary Fougere, who's going to kick this off. Thank you again to our wonderful sponsors at Downtown Hampton. And Mary, it's all you.
Well, good evening, and thank you so much for including Hampton Convention and Visitor Bureau in the presentation. It is my pleasure to introduce you to Hampton and see if we can get our screening. There we go. I'm Mary Fougere, as Cecilia said, with the Hampton Convention and Visitor Bureau. And we are so excited to introduce Hampton to you. And many of you may be very familiar with Hampton, but hopefully we'll share a few bits of information that you're not familiar with. First of all, Hampton is in the geographic center of the coastal Virginia region, and there's so much to do here. Wonderful wealth of water, recreation, history, and of course, every branch of the armed forces is located in this region. But Hampton is right in the center of it all, and there's so much to enjoy. So when you dock in downtown Hampton, you are within walking distance of wonderful attractions like the Virginia Air and Space Science Center, Hampton History Museum, harbor tours, just a great variety of attractions, but all accessible on foot. And our 411-year history is accessible to you through smartphone tours and virtual tours that you can check out aboard your boat before you arrive, but also make Hampton History Museum your first stop, or hop aboard the Miss Hampton, where they have a 2.5-hour tour that shares that wonderful history of Hampton Roads Harbor and also showcases the world's largest naval installation at Norfolk. There are nearby beaches to enjoy at Buckrow Beach and Fort Monroe, and Paradise Ocean Club is located right there at Fort Monroe, which is a national monument. Incredible history. This is the location where our first settlers arrived before going on to Jamestown. This is where the first Africans landed in 1619. And so incredible wealth of history there, and you can explore that through the Casemate Museum and the Fort Monroe Visitor Center and Education Center. But also, you have wonderful waterfront accommodations there at the Landing, Hampton Marina Hotel, which is recently renovated, sparkling new, and this is part of the Tapestry collection from Hilton. And so everything is beautiful, and it provides incredible views of the waterfront there with a view of Hampton University campus, and of course, all the activity there along the waterfront. You're also within close proximity of golf, the Hampton Tennis Center. There's even a little skateboard park there. And if you can't reach it through, a bike or your own personal transportation device or through Uber, we have a visitor shuttle that we're happy to make available to you called the Hampton Scuttle. And it's just one of the many boater services that are available in Hampton. There is a wonderful, fantastic value for you to take advantage of. It's our Sea to Stars ticket. And that includes the Virginia Air and Space Science Center, the Miss Hampton, Hampton History Museum, and the Hampton Carousel. Again, all of that within walking distance. For $39 for adult and $25 for youth, and you can purchase that online or at the Hampton Visitors Center, which is right there downtown. There's also a program called Toast the Coast, and of course, your location in downtown Hampton, when you dock in downtown, you have Bull Island Brewing Company right there, and you also have the Vanguard, which is in a walking distance as well. But you have nearby Sly Clyde Cidery, you have Capstan Bar Brewing Company, you have St. George's and Ouzelfinch over at Fort Monroe. So this is a pocket guide and passport program where you have the opportunity to earn prizes. Lots of fun. It's a partnership that we share with other cities nearby, but it's accessible to you and great fun to enjoy. If you need a lift, I mentioned the Scuttle Bus accesses our services, our boater services, and some of the sites throughout downtown. Please call us. We're very eager to assist you. And of course, our Hampton Visitor Center specialists are very anxious to share all the wonderful activities there are in Hampton. You can engage with us through social media. Please visit our website, visithampton.com, and lots of added information on Facebook and Instagram, as well as Twitter. And I'm just going to share a brief video with you.
There's so much to do in downtown Hampton that you wouldn't really know about unless you stayed here. The hotel that's downtown looks right over the marina. It's beautiful. You can wake up to the sunrise right over the boats. You can walk across the street to get coffee and donuts. So much fresh seafood, so many things that are locally sourced. And so it definitely feels like you're taking a trip while still being in a professional atmosphere.
All right, thank you so much. And now I'd like to turn it over to Joan.
You're looking down the river, Hampton, Virginia, a choice destination for cruisers, selected as a preferred destination by the Waterway Guide. Events, marinas, facilities, places to go and things to do. I'm going to turn this over now to Danny Fitzgerald, the Dockmaster, Destination Hampton.
Hello.
Danny?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So getting into Hampton, if you're coming from the bay, you'll be coming through the entrance to the harbor right there between Old Point Comfort and Willoughby Bay. As you round, you're going to turn north and then follow the Hampton entrance channel back to the river. It's a little dog-legged and a little tricky, but plenty of water. There's always 12 feet of water at mean low, all the way up into the river. If you're coming from the ICW, I'd exit the Elizabeth River and head towards Middle Ground and then follow the markers right to the Hampton River entrance also. Again, there's plenty of water. If you don't draw more than 12 feet, I think you'll be fine. As you enter the river, you're gonna, first things you'll see are the historic Hampton University campus on your right. As you approach Sunset Creek on the left, before you get there, you'll see Blue Water Marina, which is a really fine facility here on the river. They offer fueling, and also if you go down Sunset Creek, there's Sunset Marina at the end, and they also have fuel. Come back out the river, head down, you'll see the Hampton Yacht Club on the west side of the river. A little farther down, you'll see Customs House Marina, and right next to them is us, the docks at downtown Hampton. This is a little overview of the river. That's us down there with the anchor. We have about 26 transient slips. That's all we do, just transient boaters. We have several floating piers that are, it's great. They're floating piers. The only tricky thing is that they're perpendicular to the current. So, there's a little care taken in it, and we try to give you as much advice as we can as you're coming in, make it as easy on you as possible, and us also. Right to the east of us, off the campus of Hampton University, is our Anchorage area. There you go. And yes, we at the docks, we offer baths and showers, water. We keep ice on hand if you need it. We have Wi-Fi, laundry facilities, and again, as Mary said, there's walking distance to several restaurants and nice venues which provide music. It's just a nice little area. Again, you can see there on the east side, you can see the Anchorage area right past marker 20. And it's a nice little spot in there. And anybody that anchors is welcome to come over and use facilities and so forth. We try to keep everybody happy and let them know what they need to do. Again, with the several marinas on the river, we have the Blue Water, we have Customs House, we have ourselves, and we have Sunset down the end of Sunset Creek. Provisioning, there are 3 food lines within a mile and less than a mile and a half distance. We also, Kroger, Lidl, and Walmart offer delivery services, as well as some of the, your apps. You can get the Uber app and the, what is it? Instacart app, yeah. Also, I have a list of people that do work if needed. Canvas for one, and you'll hear about that program in a few minutes. There's also a local sailmaker not far, also walking distance, marine refrigeration and air conditioning services, engine and generator services, electronic services. They're all local guys, and they're good. I wouldn't recommend if they weren't. But yes, we'd love to see you around. I've got a great staff here. I got 3 young ladies that help out, and everybody always talks about how wonderful they are. They don't say much about me, but that's okay. And I thank you, and we hope to see you.
Hey, Danny, this is Max. I just saw there's a question on the chat here. Is there a daily charge to use the dinghy dock if you are at the anchorage?
No question.
Absolutely not.
So where is he seeing that? Oh, there you go.
And now I think we're turning it over to Max. Thank you very much, Danny.
Thank you.
Excellent. All right, so welcome everyone. My name is Maxwell Plar. I'm the sailing director at Hampton Yacht Club in Hampton, Virginia. I've been a resident of Hampton and lived in this area for the last 12 years. So really appreciate you hopefully considering Hampton as a cruising destination. So I know sometimes yacht clubs, not everyone is a member of a yacht club. If you are a cruiser, that's totally okay. But if you are a member of another yacht club, we do share reciprocity, and we would love to show you what we have to offer here. So give me 1 second to start my share screen here. So let's see what we have going on. So just, a little bit about myself, Director of Sailing. I'm a U.S. Sailing Level 3 coach. So been around the sport and the game for a long time. And I am a Little England resident, so I actually live a block from the yacht club in kind of historic Hampton. So it's a great place for family oriented. It's just an awesome place to live. My wife and I are close to downtown, where there's great bars and restaurants, and the food is just absolutely incredible. Seafood, of course, there's great fishing and crabbing and oystering, all around Hampton. So if you do decide to stay with us, as you're entering into Hampton River Channel, you'll kind of see blue water is going to be on your port side. So, Hampton River Channel is, as you come around Hampton Bar and you kind of head off, past, you've got what's called the Veterans Association Hospital on your starboard side. You'll start to see blue water on your port side. You're going to pass channel marker 16. And then there's a split channel. So Hampton River continues north, where Sunset Creek is kind of where the edge of blue water is again on your port side. You'd continue to starboard of the split channel, and then we're on your port side. So the best way to contact us, if you would like to stay with us, we do monitor channel 16, but you're better off just try to give us our main office a call, and we'd love for you to visit with us. So Hampton Yacht Club is as far as dock space goes, we are a deep water facility. We have deep water access. So we've got on our outer limits, our T heads, most of them are anywhere from a very, very low tide. Lowest of spring tides, we're at about 10 feet. And on average, somewhere between 12 to 15 feet. We've got over 200 floating docks. Obviously, most of those are going to be for our members, but we do have a couple of I think right now we're about 96% capacity, but most of the T heads are open for transients as they're coming in. So all of our slips are floating. They're power and water accessible. We have 150 and 30 amp combinations, so we can take care of anything that you would need. Obviously, we've got dual pedestals as well. We do have a pump out that is in between E and F dock, and we also have a secondary pump out between C and D dock. So depending on how large your boat is, we can try to accommodate you between either one of the pump out stations. If you're a catamaran, we've got plenty of room for beamy boats. off the end of B dock, we've got some extra room on what's called 20T. So we've got, and also on the end of A dock at 99T, we've got a lot of space, so we can house some pretty big boats if need be. If you need a dinghy facility, pull your dinghy out, put a dinghy in, anything like that, we've got 1 ton, 2 ton, and 5 ton hoists. And down here by A dock, these are our dinghy docks. This is where most of our smaller boats, our junior programs are operating, but we also have a dinghy launch if you have a smaller boat to get in the water.
Maxwell, we had a question come through the chat from one of our viewers. Michael is interested in going back to when you mentioned reciprocity. His question is, what does reciprocity mean, and what benefits are you offering for reciprocity?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're I was gonna say, for some reason give me 1 second here. I don't know why this is not allowing me to go, but reciprocity is on the next screen. Hold on 1 second, sorry.
Sometimes if you just exit full screen and leave the thumbnail on the left, that'd be okay.
That's what I'm trying to do here. Sorry about that, guys. Technical difficulties. So that's an excellent question, Michael. So what is reciprocity? Reciprocity means if you're a yacht club member most yacht clubs are affiliated with what's called the Yachting Club of America, which is a book that's rather old, but basically it's a registry. So if you're a member at San Diego Yacht Club or Fishing Bay Yacht Club or Houston Yacht Club, or any recognized yacht club, essentially you can come to our yacht club and you can basically stay with us. We do still charge, it's $1.50 per foot per day, plus an electrical line. But essentially you have the use of our yacht club and our facilities, just as like I can go to any one of those other yacht clubs and basically register with the manager or the front office, and I'd be able to utilize their facilities as well. Reciprocity, we do have some special deals with some of our sister yacht clubs that are around the bay. So like Fishing Bay, for instance, if you stay with us for a night, you get 1 night free dockage. And then after that, it's the $1.50 per foot per day. So does that answer your question? If not, I was going to say happy to follow up. So, but that,
I think he's muted, but we'll monitor the chat, Michael, if you have anything else. But and then he said thank you. Yes, it answers it. And Salvatore Salvia is asking if you have weekly rates. For his 30-foot plus 30 amp.
So we decide, so 6 days, anything longer than 6 days is considered a long stay for us. And so our rates do change, but it just depends on how long you plan to stay. And as far as the electrical goes, that actually is not in my wheelhouse. That's actually the club manager that deals with docks. He's more the Dockmaster. But if you call our front office, we'd be happy to accommodate you. So this is our clubhouse. This is Hampton Yacht Club itself. The Yacht Club, there's great dining downtown, but the Yacht Club also has the Commodore's dining room. We've got some fantastic chefs that are always cooking up something good, and the local catch. I think today actually was a fried rockfish sandwich that was pretty awesome. So we also have a dockside lounge, so full bar. You can bring actually your own bottle of liquor or wine. I was going to say they can pour for you. We've got outdoor seatings and patios, and then plus this building as well as another outbuilding have bathrooms and shower facilities for all visiting yachtsmen. So where I operate out of is the Brady Sailing Center. It's just north on our campus of the clubhouse itself. But the Brady Sailing Center is where we run and operate all of our junior and adult sailing programs out of. And we've got classrooms and workshops. But as far as cruisers go, we do operate a full chandlery out of the Brady Center. So we've got hardware, we've got line, we've got pretty much a big Rolodex of all of the local people that work on boats in the area. So if you find yourself, in a predicament where you need some sail repair, or you need canvas repair, or you need hardware, or you want to replace your jib sheets, anything like that, we're happy to help, and we've got a full staff at the Brady Center that's willing to help you. So near and dear to my heart is Cooper. He hangs out with me every day. He's downstairs right now. I'm back at my house, but we are pet friendly. And I think that's really important, because there are a lot of cruisers that are pet friendly. And I know I see Charlene smiling. I know she's a pet friendly loft as well. But so we just ask, please bring your pets, but we just ask that you're respectful, pick up after them, keep them on a leash. And unfortunately, there's no pets in the clubhouse, but you can certainly bring your pets into the Brady Sailing Center, no problem. So some close cruising needs. We've got, I know Danny was mentioning before, so there's Food Line, which is in walking distance. There's a Farm Fresh that's also close nearby. There's some bigger grocery stores that you can, you're just an Uber or a Lyft away. There's some laundry services. Again, downtown Docks also has laundry there. We do not have any laundry facilities at HYC, but there is laundry that is rather close. Sailmakers. So our nearest sail loft is Doyle Sails. They do great jobs on repairs. But there's also North Sails, Evolution Sails. Quantum also is local if need be. They don't do as much work as the other three in our area, but they are there. But any quick repairs, Doyle's going to be your quick shop. West Marine, again, just a quick Uber ride away. I'm there almost every day, so just kind of, if you're there, you could probably just piggyback with me. But we also have Patrick's Hardware, which is one of the oldest still operational hardware stores probably in the country, but they're just down the street and they've got everything you need as far as hardware goes. So I know cruisers don't always race, and not all racers cruise, but hopefully there's a good mix. And we have two events particularly near and dear to my heart that we run that are great opportunities for cruisers to actually check out the race course. And it's more kind of laid back, rather casual racing. For the cruising fleets, we still have very serious racing that goes on in these events, but we do have cruisers that are a big part of both of these events. So that is the Storm Trysail and Hampton Yacht Club partnered since 1934 for what's called the Down the Bay race. So it starts in Annapolis, ends in Hampton, and that is the feeder race for Southern Bay Race Week, which is it's a week-long regatta that we host. So there's both handicap racing, one design racing, as well as cruising. So there's different circles, so we're never overlapping one another, but we're all sharing the same, water, the Southern Chesapeake Bay there for Race Week. And we get over 100 boats. It's so much fun. There's, pre-COVID, there's big tent parties and whatnot. Post-COVID this year, we'll see how much social side of it, depending on vaccines and whatnot. We're very, very cautious with that, but we have some great regattas coming up, and we'd love for you to join in. So we also have a lot, if you're a cruising family, it's big right now. I've got a lot of friends that are just kind of, with everybody working remote, they've got their boat, got their kids, and just decided that they're just going to shove off and leave for a little while. So we want to offer your kids a lot of programming as well. We're a yacht club. We're sailing focused first and foremost, but we also offer power boating. We offer fishing, and we also started this year with foil sports. So wing foiling, kiteboarding, foil surfing are all things that we're pretty excited about, and our instructors and coaches are excited about. And these are great opportunities for your kids to get out on the water. So if you're interested, we're open year round. Our summer program is very, very popular. And we do everything from teaching the kids, learn to sail, all the way up to full training based for Olympic and high level athletes. If you're here, anytime between basically April 1st and, November 31st, we offer casual weeknight racing. Tuesday nights, we've got one design. Wednesday nights, laid back beer can handicap racing around the bar. Thursday nights, we're doing team racing and opening up to match racing this year. And on Fridays, we always have women's sailing. Any night, you can pretty much come down to the yacht club, stop by. We can certainly find you a boat to hop on and just kind of share in some of the great sailing traditions of Hampton Roads. We've got some big upcoming events. If you're cruising with your family, we've got 2 really big junior events happening this summer. We've got the U.S. Sailing Junior Olympic Festival. We've got 2 days of clinic going on in July, as well as 2 days of regatta. In August, the Fleet Race and Women's US ODA National Championship is actually happening at Big Blue Sailing down in Norfolk, but then the team race portion is coming to Hampton for August 1st through the 4th. So this will be a really, really fun opportunity for a lot of young sailors. And then come October, HYC has hosted a lot of nationals, a lot of Atlantic Coast Championships and bigger events, but in October, we're actually hosting our first World Championship. So we're hosting the J111 One Design Class World Championship in October from the 18th through the 24th. And we should have boats coming from all over the world. Again, hopefully COVID will be a little bit more under control by October, but we're really, really looking forward to putting this on and working with our other partners in Hampton. So lastly, this is my information here. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram. You can email me if you need to. If you have any specific docking questions, instead of sailing director, you can just go to manager at hamptonyc.com, or you can email me and I'll be happy to forward any requests or inquiries on. So that about does it for me, unless there's any other questions in the chat. Really quick. If not, I think we're going to turn it over to Charlene, but I hope to see all of you in Hampton, Virginia.
All right. Thanks, Max. Yeah, makes me proud to be a Hampton Yacht Club member. All right, let me go ahead and get my screen sharing here. And come on now, there we go. All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Charlene Clark. I am with Signature Canvas Makers. We're in the Phoebus section of Hampton. We started our business in 2005. At the time, my husband Chandler was still serving in the United States Navy down in New Orleans. Retired from that in 2006. And we came back here to Hampton and he started working as a contractor with another canvas shop. We actually opened our own shop in 2008. And in 2010, I left a 23-year career in hospitality, sales, and marketing to join him full-time and run the business. We are designers and manufacturers of canvas and textile solutions for government, commercial, and recreational markets. We are not sail makers. We do not even repair sails any longer, but we do have a partnership with Evolution Sales. They actually have a sales office in our shop. So we can certainly put you in touch with people if you do need some sail repairs. So today we're going to briefly talk about caring for your canvas. And just some tips on how you can protect your investment and keep things lasting a little bit longer. So let's first talk about fabric. At a very basic level, you want to make sure that you always rinse your canvas with fresh water. Never use a pressure washer. Some of these things may sound obvious, but trust me, we have seen them all. When people bring in shredded things and say, well, I just pressure washed it. And I can't imagine why it all fell apart on me. So you just basically want to take a fresh water rinse to it when you're done, several times a week, or, at least a few times, every couple of weeks after you've been out on the water sailing. For general cleaning, just a mild soap and lukewarm water is generally fine. If there's some spots, you might want to use a soft bristle brush or a sponge. We do not recommend that you use laundry detergents. There are phosphates in your laundry detergents, and they will deplete the water repellency of the fabric, especially if you're using a product like Sunbrella, which is an acrylic. Always rinse it thoroughly, the soap and water thoroughly off the canvas, and let that air dry. Again, just because we've seen it before, never put your canvas in the dryer. It will break it down. If it's not sewn with Teflon thread, it will very well have a tendency to shred the thread. Stubborn stains, again, this is primarily Sunbrella, but most of these things will also work for products like Stamoid, Breakwater, things of that nature. Stubborn stains, we generally recommend a non-chlorine bleach and mild soap mixture with lukewarm water. Rinse thoroughly. Please be careful though if you're using bleach. If your product is sewn with a 138 or a 92 thread, and not PTFE or what is also Teflon thread, bleach will have a tendency to eat away at the threads. So you want to make sure that you're working in small areas and not soaking the whole canvas, because again, that bleach will really eat away at those threads. Anytime you're storing your canvas, before you're going to store your canvas, always clean it first, allow it to dry thoroughly, and store it in a well-ventilated area. For clears, or what most people will call glass, the best thing, again, always rinse it with fresh water. You want to make sure that before you start to rub anything on your glass, that you are removing the salt, any kind of particulates, dirt, off of the glass. Any type of product, even the products with a scratch resistant coating, if you are rubbing them with salt all over them, they are going to scratch. There's different types of glass that you'll hear about. Probably the most, the generic of what people call isinglass. Isinglass is a generic term. It's like saying a crescent wrench. Isinglass is basically probably the most popular brand right now is Strataglass. And that is what they call a pressed polish. Strataglass is a coated product. Any products that are coated, if they're not treated correctly, you will find over time that coating will start to break down. It will also start to break down naturally. Many canvas shops will often recommend using a non-coated product because it will have a tendency to break down less quickly. However, the downside to that is that it will scratch more quickly. So you've got your flexible glass, which is your pressed polish, i.e. Strataglass. A polycarbonate, that is a rigid glass. Again, mostly what we're using in rigid polycarbonate is not coated. And then there's also the next step up from that is an acrylic. Acrylic cannot be sewn through, so it requires a bonding process. We are Easy2CY authorized dealers, and Easy2CY is the branded bonding term. So always rinse first. Use a mild soap, water mixture. Never use anything like Rain-X. Anything that has something, products like Rain-X, a lot of people think, well, it's going to help to keep the water beaded away. None of these marine products are set up for the for a product like Rain-X. Rain-X will actually cause your glass to burn when the sun hits it. So definitely don't use anything like that. Always stick with products that are recommended by the manufacturer. If you're using Strata Glass, they will often recommend IMAR products, IMAR products. For mostly everything, we use a product called 210 Cleaner and Polish. It's a lot less expensive, super easy to use. You can spray it on and wipe it off, and it cleans and polishes and buffs at the same time. And it is safe to use on Strata Glass and polycarbonates as well as acrylics. Make sure when you're handling your glass, you don't want to use, make sure you don't have any grease or oils, suntan lotion on your hands. That will again leave a residual on your glass that will cause it to cloud over time. A lot of times people will ask about, with the flexible products like Strata Glass, if you're a sailboater or even a power boater, you will often roll up those panels to get airflow. Any kind of constant rolling, even with a coated product, will cause scratching. Most of the time we recommend, if you do need to roll them, consider taking a soft towel or a piece of, cut up a soft sheet, and roll that into the glass as you're rolling it up and securing it up. That will certainly help to keep the scratching at a minimum. When you're storing, anytime you can store your panels flat, it certainly is better. Again, store them with clean, with sheets, soft sheets or soft towels in between soft sheets or soft towels. That's the best way to store them. If you do have to store them rolled up, best to roll them within a towel or a sheet. And certainly when you have them on your boat, if you're going to leave your boat for any period of time, never leave your panels rolled up. The moisture will get in there. It will cause the glass to cloud and potentially burn when the sun hits it, if it's there for any period of time. Marine vinyls. Many of us have cushions on our boat, in our cockpit. These are best to wipe down with a mild soap and water, rinse very lightly. You never want to leave water. You never want to hose off your vinyl. You'll see, we'll talk about pinking. If anyone has ever heard of a problem with marine vinyls called pinking, where a white or an off-white vinyl will suddenly start to have all of these pink spots on it. That is actually a type of bacteria that exists in fresh water. It is not harmful to humans, but it is unfortunately harmful to a lot of marine vinyls. So you never want to hose off your cushions. Always wipe them down with mild soap and water. You want to keep your exterior vinyls clean frequently. You want to keep those clean them frequently, I should say. Again, avoid using things like sunscreen when you're sitting on them. Never leave them damp. These are all things, the moisture is what this bacteria adheres to. Bottom line, keep them clean and dry as much as possible. And once you start to see this pinking, there is no way to remove it. You're going to have to replace the vinyl. The good news is that there are some vinyls now that are guaranteed, that do have warranties against pinking. Any Naugahyde product is guaranteed against pinking. And Sunbrella just came out about a year and a half ago with a product called Horizon. It's a brand new product. It's an engineered synthetic leather. And they do have the best warranty in the industry right now. They have a 5-year limited warranty on the product itself, but they also now have a 3-year warranty against pinking. So definitely a great product, and it's got a beautiful soft hand. It's really a beautiful product, a huge variety of colors that match all the different, so many of the different Sunbrella colors that you're familiar with. All right, a little bit about snaps and fasteners. We're going to talk about snaps and fasteners and zippers. The best way to keep any of your hardware and your zippers functioning well is to use them. Cleaning the snap stud, which is the part that goes into the boat itself, will help to keep it flexible and soft. Dust and dirt can get in on that and will cause the cap to get really hard to sit in on, to be able to snap down on that, causing burrs. And then, also in the cap itself, there's a little, I don't know if you can see right here, this little thing right there, there's a little spring in there. And over time, those do start to open up a little bit. So unfortunately, once those start to loosen up, you'll often find that it's too easy to snap, and then you can't get it you can't get it to stay. When that happens, you do need to replace the cap. But you can certainly keep the stud working well. A small piece of steel wool will help to keep that stud clean. And you can see, and see there what we're recommending. And it's like if anybody's familiar, I'm sure you're all familiar with battery terminals, but that will help to keep those functioning properly. You never want to use a petroleum-based product. We recommend a product called McLube Sail Coat. It's a dry lubricant, and it really works great on a number of different applications. Snaps, any types of fasteners. Some of you may be familiar with lift-a-dot fasteners. It works great with those. And certainly with zippers, it will help to keep the slides and the zipper itself well lubricated. And while we're talking about zippers, so there are very few zippers out in the industry right now that will not deteriorate over time with salt and UV. There are a few products that are UV resistant now that some of the manufacturers are starting to come out with. For general canvas, they are ridiculously expensive, and very few shops, if any, are using them as a standard practice. Again, the best way to keep your zippers working well is just to use them. Keep them, keep zipping up and down. When you're cleaning your canvas, make sure you hose off your zippers as well. That will certainly help. Lubricating zippers, McLube Sail Coat, as I said, is a great way to dry lubricant to keep those working. Never use any kind of petroleum-based product. If you're really in a pinch, grab some chapstick and and it works well. I don't like to do that on a regular basis because it will tend to get gummy as it heats up. But in a pinch, it'll work. Okay, so I just wanted to give you all a quick overview. I figured I would save some time for questions that you have specifically. I did want to let everybody know that our schedule does fill up really quickly, especially during migration times. So if you think that you're going to need canvas and you want to wait until you come into Hampton, it's really best to get with us ahead of time and get that scheduled in. Currently, our schedule right now, because of everyone buying boats last year, we're averaging about 16 to 18 weeks out for new canvas. Repairs, we can generally fit those in between. So, if you are coming in and you've had something, if you're coming into Hampton and you've had something let go, or you need a zipper replaced, or something of that nature, we can generally try to fit those in between bigger jobs. But we did have, we had one year, one of the offshore cruising races came in, and we literally had a 50-foot sailboat that showed up on Monday and said, I need a Bimini Dodger connector and an enclosure, and I need it done in a week. Unfortunately, that is not realistic for us, but we can certainly help you out with anything. If you need supplies, if you need cleaning supplies, we can certainly help you out with that as well. And as I said, repairs we generally try to fit in as we can. So with that, I will open it up to some questions. Let me go
Great.
back.
We do actually have a couple of questions, Charlene, that came in over the chat. There are several actually. So I'll start with Michael, who's asking, how do you remove light scratches and abrasions from strata glass?
Well, hang on, let me stop share here so I can see it. Okay. Really, once any of these products start to scratch, there's not a lot that you can do to eliminate the scratching. There's products out there. Novus is one. They have multi-step products that you can try that will help to, they don't really remove the scratching, they more fill the scratches in. But you want to be careful with that too, because you can sometimes cause more damage than you're helping by adding more abrasion to to the clear. Yeah, really, once they start to scratch, it's really difficult to remove scratching. Really, the only glass out there that you can literally remove scratching from is acrylic, and it's a buffing process. It needs to be buffed out. I do not recommend using a buffer on strata glass or any non-coated clear. Again, you've got to be really careful because you can do more damage than good.
Mm-hmm. Great. Also from Michael, and I think it's a two-part question. You mentioned mild soap. Are you referring to something in the area of like an ivory dish soap, or what about OxiClean laundry detergent, or do you suggest any specific kind of soap?
Yep, ivory is a great product. Woolite is a great product to use. It's that's a very mild product. OxiClean is great for stains. Any of these products, the OxiCleans are, I tend to like that more than using bleach products, just because of the thread issue. Anything that's got bleach in it, if you don't have the Teflon thread, again, you could be causing yourself more problems down the line because your threads are going to start to deteriorate. But yeah, ivory soap is great. OxiClean is great for using for more stubborn stains, bird droppings and things of that nature. But yeah, definitely, and Woolite is another great one.
That's great. And Michael says, thank you very much. That was good practical advice. Thank you so much. That was, thank you. That's all the questions, I think.
Welcome.
And I think we're on to Linda and Claire.
Screen shared here. It's so great to be here tonight. Thanks for having us. Linda and I, as owners of Shored Up, a local eco tour business, are excited to join the webinar tonight, especially since we read on your website that one of your most cherished traditions is your SSCA Clean Wake policy, which states to leave a clean wake is to show respect for others and for our environment so that those who follow in our wake will be warmly welcomed. What a great philosophy. It shows that we automatically have something in common. Linda and I have a deep passion for the environment, particularly in regards to the Chesapeake Bay and our local waterways. Let me just change our slide here. Nope, trying to change my slide. Hold on, thanks. We have a story to tell here in Hampton too, as so much of our present day ecology stems from a rich history and heritage that is unique to Hampton. Oysters is a great example of that. In this picture, you can see that there's a postcard of a pile of oyster shells in Hampton from back in the day. And it was quite an impressive pile, obviously, because they made a postcard out of it. You know, that pile, though, has led to having to do a lot of restoration efforts. And on the right side of the screen, you see a picture of us interacting with our tour participants, showing them the oyster garden that we have down at the Hampton City Dock in an effort to help restore oysters to the bay. We often say that our experiences include a little bit of history, a little bit of nature, and sometimes a little bit of beer. We offer walking tours, kayaking tours, and other eco experiences. We have tours open to the public, like our paddle and pint tour or our walk, talk, taste tours. Plus, we have a variety of pearls that we like to string together to create a custom experience for any age and at any time of the year. In these pictures, you can see the first picture, we're inside the Hampton History Museum, a real gem that's located within a short walk of the downtown docks. And the second picture shows some little kids hugging a great big tree. That was a program we put together for them when they were visiting Hampton. And then the third picture, we show us on one of our kayak paddles, looking at this majestic magnolia tree that you all will pass when you come up the Hampton River. You'll pass it on the port side. And then lastly, we have that little bit of beer I was talking about. We're enjoying some craft beer at Bull Island Brewery, right there, located next to the Hampton City Docks. We have a fleet of 6 kayaks this season, or you can use your own boat for our tours. Our kayak tours leave from the kayak launch located right next to the public dock. Our walking tours also start right at the Marina office or sometimes at the Hampton History Museum. We are both certified Virginia Eco Tour Guides. We are proud that our small business is a member of Virginia Green, as well as with the Chesapeake Oyster Alliance, a coalition of organizations and businesses committed to creating a healthier bay by adding 10 billion new oysters by 2025. We really look forward to welcoming you to Hampton and giving you a souvenir that will make your sea stories even better. Please check us out on our website, www.shoredupva.com, or on our Facebook page at ShoredUpVA. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. Until then, we wish you fair winds and following seas. Thank you.
Great. We did have one question for you, Linda and Claire, and that is, do you have summer projects or do you need any interns? Someone clearly loving your work.
We always love having some help, and we always love sharing the unique gems that we have here in Hampton. So please let us know if you'd like to come along and join us. That would be a lot of fun.
Great. Well, thank you, everybody. This has been a wonderful, wonderful webinar. And I should say a shout out to Jennifer Finley at Downtown Hampton, who put this amazing group of panelists together. I've been texting her all along. I think this is all just the kind of thing that we cruisers want to hear about, because we are out for the experience. We want to find the best places to stay with the best access to the resources that we need along the way and the best experiences that we can have, because we're all here to have experiences. So thank you so much. We hope to see you again. I know we're going to be doing a series called the Chesapeake Bay Meander. We'll certainly be including these videos as part of that, as a resource for everyone. For those of you who joined us as a participant on the webinar, and for the many of you who I know are watching on YouTube live stream, we appreciate your time tonight. Thank you for joining, and we look forward to seeing you in Hampton.